Welcome to another review here on Ray Rono Does Music, where today we're taking a look at one of my favorite, pop punk albums of not only this year, but of all time. We're taking a look at Neck Deep's newest album, The Peace and the Panic. Neck Deep is a Welsh pop punk band that was formed around 2012, gaining an early online following of postings of songs before being noticed by Hopeless Records, signing, and well, as they say, the rest is certainly history. Releasing their soon-to-become hit song Part of Me very early in their career, a clear trajectory was set for the band's future, as it began to seem less of a fuck it, let's just screw around and play music band, and it became more of a serious project that Ben Barlow, Danny Washington, and the rest of the members grew to enjoy and grow upon, both in themselves musically and as people. Known for their hard-hitting, energy-littered music in releases like Wishful Thinking and Life Sent Out to Get You, the songs Neck Deep have put out often stuck to happier mood tones and sort of more upbeat, pop-punk-friendly elements that you see explored often in discographies from Blink-182, New Found Glory, Sum 41, the usual higher-class bands, you could say, within the genre. But at the same time, they are no strangers. That was a lot of stuttering there. No strangers to more emotional, story-driven music. Just look at their song December, which not only was one of the more hit songs off of Life's Not Out to Get You, but it received its own vinyl release in a very pretty, if I may say, gold 7-inch. And here on The Peace and the Panic, we're approaching more darker themes, with themes of loss, politics, and coping with bad decisions. The album is very heavily influenced by the passing of Ben Barlow's father, Terry, and coping with the general feeling of having lost a loved one that was very close to you. And this album is very much sort of the same old coming of age, growing up, and dealing with bad situations as they arise, and the same pop-punk energy. Between the recording of Life's Not Out to Get You and Neck Deep's newest album here, of course, that tragedy did happen, which very much led to influencing many of the tracks on here, including one of the more somber pieces, 1970-something, telling a story of Ben's parents meeting for the first time, starting off cheery and lighthearted as the song progresses, before quickly turning into a somber song in a minor tone. The singer here wanted the listener to feel that change of tone immediately. They wanted you to feel that emotion as the song changes its shift and then goes into the darker side of things. And the tone changes really quickly with the lyrics, "Baby, you saved me, but nothing could save him from the ambulance that day when he went away," so on and so on. Detailing the passing of his father is a very critical point for the song towards the end of the album, and keeping with this feeling, "Wish You Were Here" is another example of a song that copes with the passing of someone very close to you. Reflection is something not directly referenced, but a theme that often comes up here within the album. You get going from each song point to point, and it carries on, whether it's a happier song, a somber song, something mid-tempo and focusing on a completely different topic in general. Reflection is something that comes up very often here. The mid-tempo song In Bloom switches ideas from death to a simpler kind of loss, that being a relationship that's struggling to bloom, much like a flower. Melancholy is something found all throughout, and it's evident even in Parachute, a song once again following this ongoing concept of dealing with death and change in life, detailing that with lines like, "I want to break out and get away," and other verses. But that isn't to say that death isn't the only major concept and idea followed out throughout this album, as there's also the element of politics, with the song Don't Wait mentioning how governments has turned into this toxic thing full of fakes and liars that are trying to mold your thoughts to be like others, featuring a very powerful and almost emphatic piece from Sam Carter of the band Architects, coming in with his signature sound, adding in honestly one of the stronger parts on this album in its entirety. And Neck Deep is accomplishing something very surprising here, but not only delivering a starkly different LP in terms of feeling and delivery here, but a very solid one at the same time. A lot of bands in the scene either go for honesty and songs where they can lose track on quality and focus more on trying to tell you the story, or they do the complete opposite and offer you eccentric, intricate things in the instruments. But then when it comes to the actual story and what they're giving to you, it's just very bland and repetitive here. Neck Deep takes both of these elements and fuses them very well together, despite all the bad rep that the album gets not only from critics but fans as well. But with all that considered, it's not all downer for this album at all. Where Do We Go When We Go takes that very idea head on and addresses it, saying that yeah, there's going to be bad moments and good moments, but fuck it, take everything in a stride and don't let situations get the better of you, because you are bigger than that. Get one up on life before it kills you, quite similar to the chorus itself. Just ignore all the noise and static, whether it be a loved one dying or a relationship that struggles with time. Take all of that with your own pacing and grow from it. Bloom from it, if you might say. The Peace and the Panic isn't a concept album, but manages to pull off what many of those try to do in the process, pulling a cohesive story that's spread out and peppered here and there throughout the record. In a commercial sense, the album did fantastically, while again, a lot of fans sort of coin this as the Fall Out Boy sellout record, like, oh, they're going for a softer sound, they're becoming more emotional, they're not quite the same band that was playing basement shows back when they first started off. But that's the thing here. Neck Deep isn't playing basement shows that can just pump out these fast, riffy, just chuggy songs. They have to expand more and put out the types of songs that are going to appeal to a larger audience, and that's what they do expertly here. With everything said, I'm going to give this album a 9 out of 10, as it's honestly Neck Deep's best album to date. Life's Not Out to Get You, Wishful Thinking, A History of Bad Decisions, they all had hit songs here and there, but throughout all those, no album quite had bangers from start to finish until now. If you go down in the description below, you'll find a link to... Actually, you won't find a link to my favorite song, because there's no legitimate copies of Neck Deep's songs on YouTube without getting toned down due to copyright, so go look them up on Spotify or iTunes. But regardless, let me know what you think down in the comment section below, whether you disagree or agree with me, and don't forget to like, dislike, subscribe, and unsubscribe. I'll see you in the next video.